What's going on, YouTube? Let's get right into it. Let's get to the chart. I want to showcase a system while the market is live, hopefully give you live commentary. I'm going to show you a system that is tailored to beginners and professionals alike. Now, I know a lot of you go ahead and you obsess over candles and patterns, but what if I told you that the market has changed? And if you want to make money in this manipulated market, well, you have to follow the big dogs. Now, we're not talking about unusual options. We're talking about understanding, finding the trends, playing the trends, and, well, claiming your fair share of market riches. So let's get right to the chart here. What we're looking at is NVIDIA. I'll post my gains relative to this level here as we approach 287. I already took a trade of which I went ahead and secured at or about 20%. What I also want to showcase is our traffic light system, and this is on the 5-minute. The 5-minute shows a stronger trend, if you will. A lot of beginning traders like to go ahead and play the 1 minute. The 1 minute's ideal if you are going to enter with an oversized position for a quick scalp. So you're putting your money into the market and you're removing it immediately. And with that, and for that to happen, you do need support and resistance lines. Now, not to be confused with supply and demand zones, which happens to be the fashionable word, if you will, but supply and demand is actually support and resistance. What I want to showcase is not how brilliant I am as a trader, but rather how brilliant it is to keep it simple and follow a system. Now, let's go ahead and go through some of these indicators. Before we continue, I have to keep in mind my current percent. I am currently up 7.73%, and I'm keeping an eye on a couple of things here. And we're looking at the indicators. Of course, you guys know we have the MACD. People are like, oh, that is so elementary. You know what I have to say? Go fuck your mother. Let's go ahead and look at the MACD. We have custom settings here. As you can see, the custom settings are 24, 52, and 18 with signal smoothing. Why do we have that? Well, because D12, 26, and 9 happens to be fairly noisy. And again, I like to play larger time frames. This is where the bulk of your money will be made. And boys and girls, currently I am up 9.79% on this trade. What I'm also looking for is a level. I'm going to zoom out on the 5, and I can identify a level immediately at 288.36. Guys, these charts, if you're ever so curious, these charts dynamically print your levels for you. Currently 288.24. I know where my level's at, and this is where I would simply secure the bag. By the way, guys, if you're wondering what secure the bag means, it just means take a profit. I previously had a 20% gain. I am now currently up 9%. But there's a reason why your portfolio is poor, and that's because you're being greedy. Now, in our Discord community, we talk about base hits, and I'm going to highlight that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just go ahead and close my position. I am all set here. All right, I got my order filled. I'll include the screenshots in this video. Again, market is live. Let's go back to the charts here. We could see price sensitivity at this level. Now, because we see price sensitivity at this level, what are we looking at? We are looking at RSI. RSI overcooked. Now, this is a custom RSI that can be found exclusively at Trade 1348, but this gives you a visual cue that, hey, you might be greedy. Now, we're going to get into the Genie in a second, but let's also talk about the thigh gap indicator. Now, this is also a custom indicator that gauges the strength in the move. And below that, we have what's called the PSAR, or the parabolic SAR. Parabolic SAR. Parabolic SAR. Okay, now the parabolic SAR, also known as a stop and reverse indicator, helps you identify shifts in momentum. Now, why do I have this redundance? Well, because some would argue that the MACD is a lagging indicator, RSI as well, but what I like to see is confluence through all the indicators. Essentially, all indicators had signaled to me, it's go time. We had a traffic light on the 5-minute, which would say, enter, you're going bullish. You could go long, or if you're into options, you could enter a call. Your signaled here and your signaled here, essentially two plays. But I'm showing you guys in real time. I drew this level relative to a level that was already given to me several days ago. Now, what I teach out is that price action has muscle memory. Muscle memory is, obviously, you guys know, you take time away from the gym and then you go back and it's like, whoa, your muscles remember what's happening. Price action also has muscle memory, okay? And this is why we look for levels relative to price action to better understand what could happen at that level. Okay, so we have confluence through all indicators. However, we have a rejection at this level. Now, if I'm reading the chart, I am also seeing our first red candle here, and we could identify a possible trend shift by virtue of RSI pivoting down to its moving average. Now, we're on the 5 minute. I live on the 5 minute, but what I like to do is go on over to the 1 minute to get that detail. Now, why do I want that detail on the 1 minute? Well, because it's going to help me understand what's happening inside the 5. Now, what we have here is we see lost momentum with the MACD. Guys, what goes up doesn't go up forever. We have to expect that there is a retracement. A lot of geeks out there would go ahead and use Fibonacci and say, okay, well, it's going to retrace 50% and then bounce. Again, I'm trading momentum, so I'm hypersensitive to momentum. What we're seeing here, RSI breaking below its moving average and trending down. Now, we're looking at the RSI indicator, and if you're wondering what these dashes are, well, this is the midpoint. And I like to say that a lot of people, a lot of beginner traders, tend to use the RSI in a very, polarizing way, where if you get down somewhere by the 30s, it's oversold, and if you get, above 70 here, it's overbought, right? But what the RSI truly is a trend indicator. Anything above 50, price action to the upside. Anything below 50, marked by these dashed lines, you have a trend to the downside. Okay, cool. You got that. Now what we have is our thigh gap indicator, which likes to signal weakness in momentum. As you can see here, we have momentum. We're indicated with this finger, right? Please don't finger. Okay, never mind. Let's skip this joke. But we have a loss of strength here. Again, regaining some strength as we bounce off the 13 EMA. If I'm playing this play, there's two things I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bounce off of this EMA here, which is known as the 24. This is also known as your profit-taking EMA. Should you not have respected this level, this is your last warning sign at Walmart saying, hey, wet floor. Now, should we come down to this EMA here, we would gladly secure our profits on this trade. Whether you're playing shares and or options, you're put in a position to make profit and remove speculation, right? We don't do trend lines. We don't do any of that crazy stuff. We simply use the 13, the 48, the 200, and we use our indicators to gauge momentum. This is something that I teach a community of over 16,000 individuals, a very, very popular community, which has grown over the past year. Now, I want you guys to go ahead and check out trade1348.com, promo code Print City for $5. We are going to show you how maybe using candlestick patterns and trend patterns just really it becomes subjective, right? Momentum is a thing that is objective. It's something that we do inherently. If you think about, like, let's say your child, right? You get quarterly report cards, and you can see your child's trend in a subject matter. Of course, we could see when a team is hot or trending through their standings, whether it's NFL, MLB, NBA. You can see that, right? When a team is trending. Momentum is inherently a human thing. Trend analysis is subjective. And also, in order for your trend analysis to be true, there's an element of self-fulfilling prophecy, which means that not only yourself, but millions of other traders and institutions would have to agree that maybe you are in a bull flag or bear flag, or we are, in a wedge and ready for a breakout. Those are things that are subjective, but you need the agreement of other traders to see the same thing. Whereas with momentum, it is very, very much objective, where you could see price action simply trending up. And we do have a level here. We are possibly getting a retest. So my thesis is still bullish unless, again, we broke below the 24. So here we are on the 5-minute, and we could see where this traffic light flashed here, and this would be your entry. And of course, your exit would be this level here, because we do in fact play for base hits. Now, I'm going to showcase both my plays here. As you can see, there were 2 plays I've taken in the video, one for 20%, one for 9%. Really simple base hits, right? We don't look for 100% gainers, especially when playing with options. All right, so here we go. You see that rejection still. Let's go ahead and look at the SPY and see what the SPY is doing. I'm going to go ahead and give you a breakdown, and I'm going to show you the power of these indicators, right, in real time. What we have here on the 5-minute, we see an MACD cross. However, this MACD cross has not crossed above this 0.00 threshold, right, which means that this bullish momentum could be fairly weak. We do not have confluence within the indicators, because what we're seeing is RSI below 50 and trending down, currently at 49.26. Now you could see that this custom RSI is in fact green until it breaks below its moving average, which is yellow here. Now what this does is it helps us again to go through our progressions and our reads and say, okay, well, we're trending down here, as that's what the RSI is saying. We have thigh gap, the thigh gap indicator, and it's showing weakness here, hence this light blue. We also are at a level here. I don't know if you guys could see this clearly, but there is a level here also on our thigh gap indicator, right? Then what we see here as well is the SAR indicator, again, the stop and reversal. What we want to see is red, which should happen shortly, a red dot print on this SAR indicator, and we should have confluence to the downside, confirming that price action is coming on down. So we are using these indicators effectively to predict what is happening in the market, which then makes us profitable traders. Okay, so if some are saying, well, wait a minute, you're on the 5-minute, you had a traffic light here, why the reversal? Well, we could immediately see, again, stocks have muscle memory. We could immediately see, per this level right here, there was a rejection. This is your rejection there, right? Again, these levels are dynamically put on the chart for you, so you don't have to break your head and say, okay, well, what do I do? Where's my support? Where's my resistance? We go ahead and we do away with, again, candlestick patterns and or trend lines, and we trade exclusively momentum. This is SPY, which looks like it's coming on down. We do have a level here at 412.17. This here, as a trader, should you have played this rejection off of this level, you do have an expectation that your scalp, at least on the 5-minute, is at 412.17. So we're going to see how this plays out. Again, this is just my general expectation, and as a trader, I am playing within the confines of momentum. I do not sit there and speculate and or hope that a trade is going to go in my favor. The market dictates the way I play. What's even more important than just reading momentum is knowing your entry. And boys and girls, this is courtesy of Trade 1348. We have alerts here in real time. Now, our community, it's not a follow me trade community. It's a real-time actionable alert community where we have Apple alerting at 11:24. Let's go ahead and take a look at Apple, and let's go to that timestamp. So let's look at the 1-minute. We currently have a traffic light alert. We are playing candle close, and what we're seeing on the 1-minute is confluence within all the indicators. So we have the MACD trending down. We have RSI below 50 here and also below its moving average. We also have orange here. Now, this is indicating bearish momentum, and we have the parabolic SAR suggesting that, hey, the trend is over. So now should we enter this play, where would our exit be? Now, a lot of traders like to talk about, making the most money or the ideal entry. You have a lot of indicators such that could be found on Luxalgo, for example, that give you buy and sell signals. But buy and sell signals are only half the story. See, your profit is only taken, right? Excuse me, rather, your exit is far more important than your entry. So what we're looking at here is a possible exit at the 200 on the 1 minute. We would expect some price sensitivity here. So what we do is then we go to the 3 minute. And again, we're looking to see if we have confluence along the 3 minute here, right? And of course, you're seeing a bit of a sensitivity, right? We go back to the 1 minute. You can see that sensitivity as we approach the 200. This is how I teach my students to trade traffic lights or our signals that we offer, and then play it to a level with the dominant level being the 200 EMA. So we in fact got our bounce. And on our larger time frames, we have yet to have confluence through the 1, 3, and a 5. Now, this is where we turn our attention to the trade 1348 Genie. Guys, we're doing this real time, right? So what I want to do is go ahead and clear this here. We're going to remove our levels from Apple, and I want to highlight the Genie, and I want to highlight these points here, right? And this serves as a bullet point to our traders to keep them humble, keep them honest, and pursue modest gains. But again, they're structured, right? So we have method, mindset, money management, which is something that we talk about in our community. We talk about following the rules, right? There are rules to this, right? We only trade actionable alerts, right? Which would be, let's say, a traffic light to a level or a call signal back up as a retrace, right? We have rules to this, right? This put signal would be invalid by the fact that you have price action above the 200 EMA. So one of the rules that we talk about in our community is that when price action is above the 200 EMA, we are biased to long. We're biased to calls if we're playing options, right? We're biased to going long on the stock. Now, again, if you trade shares or options, you will find that this chart is rather powerful. So we are above the 200 EMA, so we're biased to calls. Therefore, this put signal is invalid. Okay, there are rules to this, right? As you could see, our EMA trend here on the Genie, call. Our EMA bias is to call. RSI is bearish. As you could see, it's below its moving average. The MACD is weak bullish, as it's showing weakness in the MACD. Now, this is where we like to see confluence on the traffic lights, right? So on the 1 minute, we have a red traffic light. We come to the 1 minute per hour alert. You see that red traffic light. Now, what you would want to do is take profit here at the 200 EMA, unless we do in fact have a traffic light on a 3 minute. So the 3 minute is going to go and guide you. It's going to guide you into this trade here, right? And so we'll actually come back to this in a second and see how Apple fared based on our system. But what we're looking for is a red traffic light on the 3, okay? And in order for that to happen, the 3 minute price action on the 3 minute has to break the 200 EMA, which is yellow. And what you're seeing here is this candle highlighting. This candle is highlighting to prepare you for a possible traffic light to the downside, okay? Of which then, in order to stay in this trend, we would then go to the 5 minute. Again, we're looking for confluence. Now, going back to the chart, guys, you're watching this live. This is proof and concept. We now have a traffic light to the downside. Let's really talk about this here. This is the 24 EMA. The 24 EMA is a exiting EMA, if you will. Okay. What that means is, for instance, if you took this traffic light and you failed to exit at a level, or you failed to identify a level of which it rejected from, right? And we could honestly see that right here, these candles, they were ultra sensitive to this level here in pre-market. So we're going to draw this level here. Our community members know that when you reach a level that's when you begin paying attention to both RSI, MACD, the IGAP indicator, and of course, the SAR. This here would be your clue to exit. Again, we're trading with a plan. You guys could see we're not using any fancy trend analysis here or candlestick patterns. We are not doing that. What we see here is, okay, if I get out at the 24 EMA because I disrespected that level, you see you get a candle break and close through the white line here, which is the 24 EMA. That's going to mitigate your losses. We might get another retest to the 24, but what we're doing is using the 24 to mitigate our losses, especially if we're playing options. We know that options move very, very quickly. Okay, so we just highlighted how our EMAs are also levels here, right? But what I want to do is go to the 5-minute and really understand what's happening. On the 5-minute, we're still somewhat bullish because we do not have a candle close below the 24, right? But what we can do is go to larger time frames, and the larger time frames are essentially telling us, hey, we might be bullish, right? There's a lot of disagreement through the time frames. And this is very, very important that we understand what's happening throughout the time frames because we are trend following traders. Okay. So going back to the 5-minute, should you have taken again this entry here on this call, you would have been profitable, right? As of this moment, we do not have an actionable alert to the downside. And we don't have that actionable alert on the 3-minute. Although we thought we were going to find a traffic light to the downside on this candle, the candle did not close with that alert. Make sense? Good. Guys, let me go ahead and continue to show you. Let's go to our traffic light indicator. Once again, we're going to look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been paying me all day. So here we are with NVIDIA. Look at her coming up to a level. The question is, does she have what it takes to break this level? By the looks of it on the 3-minute, we are overbought. Our genie here is giving us that indication, right? We go to the 5-minute. Again, we can see sensitivity at this level. This is going to tell me, hey, maybe not. I probably won't take this trade until I get a candle close and a hold above 288.33. Candle close on the 5-minute is 4 minutes and 30 seconds away. So here we go to the 1-minute. Now the 1-minute gave you a traffic light entry, which could have been profitable. Now there's a couple of things that I'm looking at on the 1-minute that make me skeptical of this entry. And once again, that is RSI being overcooked. This is how retail traders often get rug pulled, right? Now, I'm not saying that we're going to get rug pulled here. What I'm saying is that as we trade with caution, and that's one of the key words here, right? We trade with caution. As we're trading with caution, you could see we got price sensitivity again at this level. It's telling me that maybe this trade is not ready and we need time for it to develop. However, if you did enter on this traffic light and or a bounce, as we could see, we got indication with the RSI breaking through its moving average. Should we have had that bounce, this would have in fact been a profitable trade. We could go ahead and measure this. Let's get our measurement here. Let's see. We're going to look at our profit to risk. Right, so check this out, guys. One of the things that we talk about is risk management, right? Now, a bounce off the 48 EMA, your stop was literally 4 cents away from the candle, right? But your profit currently is $1.40, which your potential, your risk to reward ratio is 35. This is a solid trade. Okay, now why am I highlighting this? Because in our community, what we focus on is risk management. What a lot of YouTubers or Frurus talk about is gains and making money. But I tell you what, as a trader, you need to change your psychology. Again, something we talk about in our community You change your psychology and you focus on not losing money, because when you focus on not losing money, then the opposite is true. Why don't you go ahead and check out trade1348.com? You know what? Maybe just sign up for free and you'll gain access to our 4-hour traffic light alerts and our daily traffic light alert. If you want to gain access to, the whole shebang, I tell you what, give me 30 days. Use promo code Prince City. And yeah, let me make you a believer in 30 days. Anyways, this is Gabe. I'm signing out. Peace.